A down payment for a car or Pokemon cards? Hey guys, it's Jali from Loaded. So today we're gonna go through a collection I just bought. It was 6 figures and it's just like this big. So it's crazy and let's go through it together. Right, so we're gonna turn this into one pile. Okay, right off the bat, we have a Mewtwo promo. You can see it here. So this is like 19 something ba. Pretty good condition, some things at the back, but old cars like these, they're never perfect. So I like that one a lot. Next, we have this Mewtwo hollow foil. So these are hard to come by as well. From base set unlimited, if I'm not mistaken. But quite a few whitings already. It's never gonna get to 10, but the front is super clean. Definitely a binder copy. Dark Slowking. So, before, right, the first cards came out, they come in the first edition stamp. So these ones are more expensive than the normal ones because, of course, they were the first print, first edition. So if you get in early, you get the perks of it. So this one is quite expensive as well. Fairly good condition except for a little white. So this could probably get a 9 or something. But I don't usually grade cards, but with collections like these, non-SIR, that's when you get to kind of see cards that were locked up, semi-good condition, you know. We got the Cramo. This one is kind of good condition. And since I have the stamp box Pikachu in a 10, I might actually have this graded. So this one's going up in value. And I love this because it mimics this art set. So I have the two of them right here. I'll show it right here. And hopefully it can make a set. So we have a Jolteon from E-Series. A Jolteon, I don't know from what series. But it's from the E-Series line. So basically, back in the day, you could scan these in the Game Boys and then, you know, you could see the cards there. So this is super cool. Not such a good condition too, but super cool to have. Light Flareon. This Alakazam Reverse Hollow Foil. So back in the day when these came out, these were super rare. Like the reverse hollows go for way more, but it's severely damaged. So that's the risk when you buy collections like these, right? You get it at a percentage, you price it at mint, everything at mint, and you kind of have to account for stuff like this. That's like you can't sell this for near mint price, obviously. So, but somebody who wants a binder copy would probably get that, and that's the only time you can sell it. So we carry a lot of the risk as vendors or buyers of the big collection. This is a clean Vaporeon, some whites at the back, but otherwise, super clean, super nice card. I love it. Magmortar Level X. This came out, I think, was Diamond and Pearl era. This was the era where I started collecting, and it's super nostalgic to me. Super cool to see that. Sableye Hollow. So I really love how they do the hollows before. They don't do that anymore now, but that with the dots and everything, with the swirls, I love that. Diamond Pearl also. And I played Diamond, not Pearl. So Dialga was my legendary Pokemon. So super attached to that and I love it. Azumarill with a fat swirl, super cool. So I think that's a little older than the Diamond and Pearl era. So here we have a stamped Victory Bell. EX Legend Maker, that's the set that it came in. Super nice. I love the art of that. Slowking, super cute. I like that as well. Arcanine, Angas, the goodest boy that ever did good. So these ones are quite expensive as well, I think. They go for like 3K a piece. This one, Polyraphs, nice art. I'm not sure if that's like a Lugia or a Charizard at the back, but you know, he's just chilling. He's just a chill guy. We have a Light Machamp first edition. Super nice. Rare find, I think. We have a Butterfree Hollow. So these ones are like kinda fairly common, rarity-wise, but since they're old, you know, it says 2004, they kinda went up in value, but the back it's not very good condition, so not that good. So this one, I already transferred it to our loaded semi-rigid card holders. If you don't know, you can put the sealed cards in here, but I think they're better than the top loaders because they don't get folded. Of putting it in and out the top loader is higher, I guess, than the semi-rigid. So I transferred it here, and this art, I super love it. My brother collects Snorlax, so I'm glad to have this in the collection. We have a Kabutops Delta species, so that was also, you'll see if they're like Delta species, they came out at the same time. So if you saw the ones with the stamp a while ago, like these ones are more expensive than these normal hollows, but still cool nonetheless. So here, if you can see, they did the hollows differently. No swirls, more of like a shiny type vibe. So this is a mix between modern, vintage, and mid-era. So we see a modern card right now, a Magmortar, the IR. Well, yeah, full art. Cute. Okay, we have a Piloswine, 2 Piloswines. And this is deceiving, right? Like, it looks like a normal card, but it's clay. So the artist of this was Yuka Mori. She's very iconic. She's made like so many cards before, and her cards actually hold value, and they are climbing up in value still because of her specific type or her specific art style. So these years, you'll be surprised, but they're like almost 3,000 each, and they're not even hollow. They're not reverse hollow. It's crazy. We have an Espeon EX full art. I think these are the mid-eras, like the mega eras. Yeah, 2016. So this is super clean, I think. Good 10? Maybe not a 10. There's a small tiny ding there, but maybe a 9. Mimikyu V. A lot of people look for this card in the card shows. Like, you'd be surprised how many people ask for that card. We have a Meowth. I haven't changed the top loader yet. It's a promo card. Somebody actually saw this in my story and called dibs, and the back's super clean. So I'm glad this is gonna go to my friend Hans. Shout out to you. He is a cat dad, so he called dibs on that. And now we have a Wailord EX Legendary Maker with a swirl here. So my buddy Rocky, he collects Wailord, so maybe I'll let him see this card so he can have first dibs. So yeah, I mean, in the community, you know, we're very small, so we kind of know who collects what, and it's just nice to see these cards going to like collectors who really collect them. So this is a N-Stretchram stamped promo card. So this came on top of the booster box. It's called an enhanced booster box. So that came from there. So that's a little bit more expensive than the non-sealed one, and of course it's like the stamp, right? Like in the future. 10 years down the line, the stamp will always be higher in value. So next we have a sealed Mimikyu. So this came from an ETB, Shining Fates, Paldean Fates. Yeah, Paldean Fates if I'm not mistaken. So this one I think will also hold its value. We have 2 of those. So I have Oricorio, 3 Jap Oricorios. Usually Japs are high quality, so I maybe can check those, but this one, maybe the upside of grading it is not so high, only because the value of the card is a little low, so the risk of it is not that good. Okay, this is, I think, one of the bangers of the batch. It's a Mew from the Diamond and Pearl era. Unfortunately, there's no swirl, but I think this is like a 9,000, 8,000, 9,000 card. A few dings there, but you know, at this time, we didn't really have top loaders and sleeves yet, and we had ring binders, so super cool card. That's dope. So this one is the Mew EX promo card. It came in the 151 Ultra Premium Collection. I'll show it there. This one used to go for like 2K lang. 1.5 pa nga lang eh. Then, out of nowhere, it shot up, and now it's around 4 to 5K each. This card's super clean, although it's off-centered. Will not be grading that, keeping it as raw, but I suggest anyone who's collecting Mew to get one, because this is not financial advice, but I really think these will go up in value in the future. Next, we have a super wrecked super wrecked Gyarados, like PSA 1 or lower. So this came from the original set. It's just cool to see. This is what it looks like. So people who actually played the game, obviously, their cards will end up in this condition. So it's from the first owner to me, it's crazy, like this is with them for probably 20 plus years and now I have it in my hands. It's a little piece of history. We have the Leafeon V-Star from Crown Zenith, Galarian Gallery, if I'm not mistaken. I love V-Star cards. I really think those are the next like tag teams. I believe. Like that's just me, so every time I come across V-Star cards, I try to get them if they're at a good price because, look at these. They're beautiful, man. Like, the art and everything. It's so nice. Okay, now we have an EV from Twilight Masquerade. Sorry, I haven't been able to change the top loaders yet because it's the first run-through I did after buying the collection. So this one actually also went super high up in value. They say that this is the evolutions before they evolved. So all of them have different personalities. Like, I don't know. That's what they said. That's the lore behind this one. This one is actually went up in value quite a bit as well. And I understand why. It's super cute. And who doesn't love an Eevee? So next up, we have Seismitoad, 2 copies, Japanese. This is by the iconic Shinji Kanda. So she made the Magikarp and Oricorio and now this. So this one actually was super high when it went up. And then someone discovered that there's this little tiny 666 there on the art. And they were like, oh my god, devil, whatever. So it kind of went down. But now it's steadily going back up because it is still beautiful. Even though, I don't think the artist meant to do that. Maybe it's just an accident, I don't know. But I think it will hold its value. Just like the Yukamori cards. Any good collector or any collector who likes collecting artwork and not for the value will most likely flock to those cards. And ironically, those are the ones that's gonna hold in value. So that's just me though. That's what I think. So we're going to see some EXs. This is crazy, right? Like this in my hand is like 6 digits and it can pay a down payment for a car and that's crazy. Cacturn EX, so this is like 2005 era, not super good condition and it's just nice to see, I had a chance to get these cards when I was younger. Me and my brothers used to collect, but unfortunately we didn't have, the spending power to buy real ones, so we ended up buying fake ones. So we had a lot of these cards in this era, but they're all fake. Like we had tons of them. So if only we bought the original, we would have been millionaires by now. But that's where it goes. And now every chance I get, I will buy them because I couldn't have them when I was a kid. Not to say that my parents did spoil us. It was just, even us as siblings were like, just buy the fake one, You can play the game the same, doesn't really matter. And we save up. So we didn't really know the resale value of it at the time. So, and this was for the girlies, Togepi and Cleffa and Igglybuff. Super cute tag team. I love it. It's like, they're just babies, little babies. Oh, this is very, very nice set. And if you guys saw my video, I sold this recently and I'm just glad that I can get it back. We have a Kingdom EX and Greninja EX. So if you look at the art, they're very similar. I'm not sure. Yeah, they're different artists, but some people sell these at a set and collect them at a set. And they came as a promo in the Shrouded Fable boxes. Let me see if they're gradable. Not so gradable, yeah. So probably keeping them as raw. And now I'm actually thinking about whether to keep it or not, just because the art is super nice and I really think it's gonna hold in value. So people sometimes ask me like, how do I know which cards go up? Honestly, you can never tell. You never know the market and it's always going up and down. So when you find a card that you like, an artwork that you like such as this, like I love this art, I'll hold it and keep it because I like it in my PC. I like to see it. So when it goes up, thank you, Lord. Like, thank you for that. But if it doesn't, I'm fine with it because I like to see it anyway. So that's my advice to people, especially people starting out. Find the artwork that you like because, you know, it's not guaranteed that something's going to go up or down. Gradually, it will go up because of the scarcity and how old the set is. But if you're in it for the money, of course, you have to look at other statistics like faster selling Pokemon, Mew, Pikachu, Charizard, and etc. But those ones are already up in value, you know what I mean? So if you're starting out, you want to look for an underrated card, you look at the artwork, that's for my opinion. And yeah, then you can go from there. So we have a Hidden Fates tag team, Moltres and Zapdos and Articuno. Next we have one of, I think this is the most expensive card in the set, if I'm not mistaken, a Celebi EX. So Celebi is like a legendary Pokemon also. Super blessed to come across a raw EX card in not bad condition for a good price. So I'm very blessed and lucky to have that. So we have the same size Battle but in English. Oh, we have the Sleeping Mew, very iconic. If you watched my videos from before, last year, I think August, I tried to hoard as much of these as I could. And thank God, they shot up in value. Like, I think one card this is 3,800 already. And back then, when I was doing that challenge, they were around 2,500 each. So they almost like 50% plus the value. And I only collected it because I did like the art, and true enough, it did shoot up. So that's what I was saying a while ago. Like, if you're looking to invest or hoping it's gonna go up, choose something that you like in the first place because more often than not, other people like it too, you know? And now I have like 4 copies of this that went up in value, and now this is like my 5th. And I love it still, and I don't mind if it doesn't sell. So next we have a reverse hollow Raichu. The reverse hollows look like in this year. No, actually, it's a hollow. I'm not sure that I haven't done any research on this yet. I think this is the first time they did the Pokeballs. Now they do that a lot. Oh, okay, this was also a very expensive one. So it's from the legendary collection, a reverse hollow foil. So it used to look like this. This is only for one set, and these go for super high. Although it's a little bit damaged, but these are go super high in value. And you know, it's iconic, right? You can see it from afar that it's not from this era, it's from specifically a legendary collection. Even though you see the stamp right there, you already know, 2002. This is as old as my brother, this card. That's crazy. This isn't the last yet. We have some singles that to go through, but last of the big hitters, we have a Light Vaporeon. The good thing about all these cards, right, they're like, at the back, they have some whitenings, but at the front, they're clean. They're super clean. Like, they're good binder copies. So those ones are a little bit easier to sell for those who also want it just for their binder. Next, we're gonna go through some of the like lower-end modern cards. I'm not gonna go through them so long. So we have the Zerora, Pikachu from Celebrations, Kangaskhan EX, Full Art, Wigglytuff, and Phantasmal, Mega Charizard, Jab. So it's like a mix. I think this person just put it in, you know, just wanted to declutter Ribombee. A lot of people look for these. Dugong, Rayquaza VMAX, Almost Electrode, Spirit Punk Helmet, Wigglytuff. There's a lot of Wigglytuffs here. I don't know if it just so happened that that person collected it or what. Puccino and Mareep. This is from the Galarian Gary also. And I think those are going up in value right now. There's a whole set It's a whole set. And this is like, you needed to complete the set. So maybe those will sell, hopefully. Ludicolo, Mew V, Pikachu. So this is what I'm talking about, the Delta Species era. You know when it's from that era because it says specifically Delta Species, right? So, I love it when Pokemon does that because it makes the card more iconic. Right, like the yellow borders versus, yeah, before they had yellow borders, now we have silver borders or gray borders. So that's how you can tell that what card is old and not. So another one from, but this one's a promo from the Sword and Shield era, Marshadow. So this one went super high in value because there's like a I don't know if you saw, there's like a Pikachu here. You know, people... Yeah. Oh, this is another card by Shinji Kanda also, the Magneton. Although, it's not that high in value, I think, because Magneton as a Pokemon is not that sought after. But, all nonetheless, very cool card. Oh, I'll put it, yeah. Galarian Articuno, Bastidon, Hollow. I think it's a little sun-faded, that one. So we have a few from the Delta species. Ito naman, if you see the levels, those are definitely Diamond and Pearl era. So Delta species was like the EX era. After that was the levels, which is the Diamond and Pearl era. This one, I think, was the before pa, in the EX era. And this one, a little vintage, but non-hollows, Childai, a Magnemite, and last but not the least, a Tropius Delta species. So there you have it. That was the collection I bought out. Crazy, right? That whole thing was 200 or like 6. That whole thing was 6 digits worth of cards already. If you find any cards you like that I mentioned here, they're gonna be available in CardCon, Manila CardCons. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys learned a lot or maybe something from opening and buying collections and something a little bit more about cards.